Hello everyone, this is Korosh Erfani and today is Friday, January 2nd, 2026. I am going to discuss a controversial subject because I know many people believe that the Iranian regime and the Zionist government of Israel are arch enemies. And they are really trying to destroy each other. They think that they are in a serious, authentic, genuine conflict, and I would like to say that it's not the case, right? It's not the case, and right now we can see that regarding what's going on in Iran as social protests, many people are trying to say that, depending on their opinion, that this is something mounted and organized by Mossad, by Israel, and the others are believing that no, it's not the case and it's a real protest of the Iranian people. So which one is true? So once we have a very clear idea about the nature of the Iranian regime, we can have a better and somehow unbiased point of view regarding what's going on in Iran, and also the conflict, the famous historical conflict between Iranian government and Israeli government. So we should know that the Iranian regime is the result of a so-called revolution in 1979, but this revolution was somehow organized by the forces that were directly or indirectly related to Israel. So I am talking about a group of people that are known usually with a term that I don't know if you are familiar with or not. You should be aware about the word Anusim, or crypto-Jewish, or crypto-Hebrew, or crypto-Judaic. So these are the Jews who don't reveal their identity, their real religion, and their real attachment to Israel, and they are so-called in some countries Christian, or in the countries like Iran Muslim, but they are not. Most of the Iranian leaders, those who are in power, are effectively the crypto Jews, we should know. So I am talking about the high authority in religion, in politics, and also in economy. They are so-called Muslims, but they are not. They are not real Muslim. They are truly and authentically Jews, and what they do is effectively to hide their real religion in order to infiltrate among Muslims, among Christians, and do whatever is necessary for their own agenda. Effectively, this is what they do, and they do it very well. So the case of the Iranian regime is a very obvious case of crypto Judaism, right? Which means that almost the totality of those who are at the high rank of the hierarchy of power are effectively in this category, and we must be aware about their nature and what they do. So that's why there is no doubt for those who worked on this case, the researchers who know effectively who are the let's say the main figures of the Iranian regime. We know that the highest level of ayatollahs, which means the Shiite hierarchy, are effectively crypto Jews. So that's why if you start to review the history of the Islamic Republic of Iran and what it did effectively from the first year of its existence till now, you can realize that everything, almost everything that it did, I am talking about what happened on the international stage, of course, was directly or indirectly in favor of Israel. So let's see a few examples. We know that through a useless war that lasted 8 years, the longest war of the 20th century, the war between Iran and Iraq, the Iranian regime could effectively destroy the arch enemy of Israel, which was the Saddam Hussein's Iraq. Right? So we know that what happened to Saddam, what happened to Saddam's army, to Iraqi army, and the role, the collaboration of the Iranian regime with the Americans for toppling Saddam Hussein in 2003 and the rest. Okay, so the war effectively was the foundation of a plan by Israel in order to get rid of Saddam Hussein and Iraq is now almost annihilated as a threat for Israel because of the Iranian regime. So that's the first historic service of the Iranian regime for Israeli Zionist entity. The second one happened in Syria. We saw that Iranian infiltrated effectively the Syrian army, Syrian government, Syrian information services, intelligence services, and they could effectively put finally Syria at the mercy of Israel. Right, and then they left the country, and Syria is now a completely destroyed country, disintegrated and under the domination of Israel. That was the second historic service of the anti-Zionist, anti-Israeli Iranian regime to its brothers in Israel, effectively. The third one was what happened to Palestine. The creation of Hamas by Mossad and Iran, the creation of Islamic Jihad by the Iranian regime on behalf of Israel, all of them helped effectively Israel to destroy completely the unity of the Palestinians, against it, and finally they didn't have any choice but surrender. And the destruction of Gaza, destruction of the West Bank, and destruction of the ideal of a free Palestine for the future is effectively the third service, the third historic service of the anti-Israeli, anti-Zionist Iranian regime to its master, which means the Zionist Israeli regime. We have more cases in our list. Let's see, Lebanon. Lebanon is another case with the creation of Hezbollah under recommendation of Israel by the Iranian regime. And as you can see now, Lebanon is completely, again, at the mercy of Israel, right? Another gift by the Iranian anti-Israeli regime to its master Zionist. We can talk about the other case like Yemen. Again, one more case that Iranian wanted effectively to show to the world that they are able to infiltrate a country, divide them, and then put them at the mercy of the Zionist entity. So we have a lot of this kind of examples. I stop there just to give you an idea about when we buy the version that is presented by the mainstream media, and when you know that the mainstream media are almost totally under domination of the Zionists, you can buy that. I am talking about the mainstream media, and I'm talking about main academic sources, universities, research centers, references, the people who are somehow a reference in this matter. They all are saying us that these two regimes are really in conflict. They are really contradictory. They are really against each other. It's not the case. It's not the case, and I know that it's very hard to accept it, but you should know that everything that the Iranian regime did to the Iranian nation, to the Iranian people, to the country in general, was effectively against the Iranian national interest and for the Israeli national interest. And believe me or not, all the corruption, all the financial bankruptcy that we have right now, it's because of depletion of the national resources and the transition of all these wealth and riches and money toward Israel. And I'm talking about several $1 trillion that had been transferred to Israel during almost 48 years by the total domination of the crypto Jews over the Iranian economy, politics, and everything else. So that's why I said all of this in order to bring our discussion to the current situation, where it's a matter of why Israel is effectively trying to show that it's interfering, supporting the Iranian movement, the Iranian protest. Look at that. This is Jerusalem Post. In an article, it's reporting that, hello, did you know that Mossad is trying to support effectively the Iranian demonstration? Go out together into the streets. The time has come, the Mossad wrote. Isn't it interesting? Intelligence service, usually working extremely discreet, with a hidden way, with a lot of precaution, now is crying on the roof that, hello, we are supporting the Iranian protest, and in such a way that Mike Pompeo, has posted something on Twitter today telling that, Iranian regime is bad, is in trouble, we have to do something as soon as possible, and Happy New Year to every Iranian in the streets, also to every Mossad agent walking beside them. So, isn't it a little odd, isn't strange, that an intelligence service is so obviously, bluntly, publicly trying to supporting the Iranian protesters? We know how Mossad acts normally. We know how it functions, right? We know that they try really to giving the least possible sign of presence somewhere or acting somewhere. But why, for the case of Iranian, they are so show off? The answer is very simple. Because they know that by doing that, they are able to destroy everything as chance, as opportunity for the Iranian protesters. That's why. Because they know perfectly that by putting in relation the protests, with Mossad, Israel, and so on, the Iranian regime has open hands, to repress and, if necessary, to kill the protesters. And that's why several times till now, every time the Iranian regime was seriously at risk, Israeli government came directly to help it in order to bring it from a challenging situation. The last time was in 2022 with the Massa movement. You remember, in the Massa movement, effectively, the regime was at risk because it was losing the control of the situation, and suddenly Israel came with all its agents, including the son of Shah, right, Reza Pahlavi, and they mobilized everything in order to, break out completely, break down the movement, and bring it down. And they did that. They could effectively quell the Massa movement thanks to a huge operation under the direction of a Mossad agent who was effectively at the head of SAVAK, the intelligence organization of the regime of Shah, a Mossad agent at the top of the structure of intelligence and information of the regime of Pahlavi. Can you imagine that? One of those who prepared everything for the mullah, I am talking about the crypto Jews, in order to take over the country, in order to take control of the country, take the power in Iran. Parviz Sabiti, agent of Mossad, working for this organization in Iran 55 years ago till now, until the dismantlement of the Massa movement. So that's why I am telling you the objective of Israel to do so, to do this show-off operation, is obviously protecting the Iranian regime, protecting the regime that is its accomplice, a regime that shows that it can come along with all the Zionist agenda during more than 47 years, So Israel wants effectively its puppets in Iran. I am talking about the Iranian regime, the famous anti-Israeli, anti-Zionist regime, the puppets of Zionists, they are there, and they will remain there thanks to this protection provided by Israel effectively, and the intervention of President Trump to say that don't shoot the protester, otherwise we will be there. It's another operation in order to show that they are American, they are the agents of America, the agents of the United States, or the agents of Israel, so you can kill them. There is nothing authentic, there is nothing genuine in what is going on over there as social movement. This is how it functions. This is how Israel protected Iranian regime against the Iranian nation, Iranian people. So don't be duped, don't let you be deceived or completely mistaken by just the superficial discourse of the mainstream media, the academic sources that are all both under the control of Zionists. There is no conflict between the Iranian regime and the Israeli regime. This is a sham. Believe me, this is completely fake. This is bogus. There is nothing authentic in what is going on between these two countries. So the question is why Israeli government wants to protect effectively the Iranian regime, its puppet, for two reasons. One is to deplete completely the country, because there are still, some resources to be depleted completely, and it's almost being done. It's over, almost. And secondly, in order to have an excuse to annihilate Iran. A a democratic Iran with a national or nationalist government, popular government, it's impossible to be bombed, right? It must be something evil, something bad, something anti-Semite, anti-Zionist, anti-Israeli, in order to have the justification to bring the American army to, to bomb Iran, if necessary, with the nuclear bomb, in order to annihilate it forever. So the real reason for which the Israelis are trying to show off that they are supporting the Iranian supporter is just to deprive them, from any chance of changing the Iranian government and replacing it with a nationalist alternative, with a popular alternative. They don't want. They want to protect the Islamist regime of Iran in order to have the necessary excuse to, trigger the all-out war in the Middle East and do, the agenda of the greater Israel. You cannot find a greater support for the Israeli regime in its whole existence, in this whole history of 80 years, than the Iranian regime after the revolution. Not even everything the United States provided to Israel can really equate to what the Iranian regime did effectively and practically for the Israeli government. I know that's a little hard and strange to hear that and to believe in that, but I don't want that you believe in that. I don't want to convince you effectively about what I am saying. I want just to trigger your curiosity in order to ask effectively more questions about it, to see that nowhere there was an action that Iranian regime starts and could be fatal for the Zionist entity. And it won't be any. Even though there is a discourse that, in the second war, Iran will destroy completely Israel, it will do that. No, we know this discourse. We know that it's completely superficial and fake and nonsense, is lunatic, it's completely delusional. Don't believe in that. What will happen, I am telling you, is the complete destruction of an entity called Iran by Israel and by the support of the United States. Through what? Through the excuses that have been provided by the puppet regime of the Islamic regime in Iran. So that's why I know that this discourse, this point of view, will completely upside down the point of view of many people regarding, the serious conflict, antagonistic conflict between the Iranian regime as an anti-Israeli regime and the Zionist entity. But the truth is always a little shocking, right? I ask you just to make your research, just to look up the different sources, not the sources that are provided by the establishment under the control of the Zionists, by the independent sources, in order to find more and more information that can help you to verify these hypotheses, right? The hypothesis is that there is nothing as serious, genuine contradiction between the Iranian regime, which is produced by Zionists, and the Zionist entity of Israel. They are complice, and they are hand in hand behind the scene in order to destroy the Middle East. They destroyed already Iran. The Iranian nation is condemned to somehow going through one of the worst case scenario possible in the coming war, but this is also the fate of the whole Middle East. and that's a hypothesis, that's a theory that must be verified. I encourage you to verify that, to check that, to test that, to find other point of view in order to see how this suggestion is close to the reality or not. But this is what you can do. I am going to present more information about this if I am alive. I am going to give you more stuff, more materials about that in the coming video. Thank you very much. I hope that I can have your support for this channel. Please, if you can subscribe, if you can press. I told you this new channel of Korosh Erfani in English is something that I would like to develop, and if you can support it, that will help me in order to present more elements. So that's why I encourage you to subscribe and to also share the links and share your point of view, your comments on what's going on, what you think about what I have said, and we can have a discussion indirectly over the comments. Thank you very much for having watched this video.